Alright, so gas prices are insane, and that's no good for anybody. But there is an alternative. Electric vehicles, right now, are just as affordable as gas cars when it comes to buying them new. There is also a decent used market for electric vehicles right now. Is it worth the savings in gas? Will I be able to take road trips? Does my insurance go up? Those are just some examples of the questions I'll answer today. This is everything you need to know before you buy an EV.
Smash the like button.
Thank you.
If you're going to buy an EV, you're going to need to come up with the cash. Assuming you're ready to do that, let's talk about purchasing an EV. First, beware of the dealership model. It used to be that you just went to a dealership, picked out a car, and started negotiating immediately. None of this applies anymore. Even if you have to deal with a dealership to make your purchase, there is absolutely no reason to go there in person unless you have decided to buy that vehicle from that dealership out of their inventory. And you do not have to do that in person anymore. You can purchase a Rivian online, you can purchase a Tesla online, you can purchase a Lucid online, you can purchase a regular Nissan online. And let's not forget Carvana and Vroom and all the other online retailers popping up in the used space. But if you're buying from one of the major brands, and by major brands I mean all brands except Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid, you're most likely going to have to go to a dealership and deal with them one way or another. And you may have to deal with a markup. This needs to be factored into your decision. I recently did a video on the Kia EV6 along with a side-by-side comparison of the Tesla Model Y. I did mention that you would be dealing with a dealership if you decide to go for the Kia, but to avoid seeming biased for Tesla, I did not spend a lot of extra time on it. However, it is the most important thing about an EV6 from Kia. At MSRP, the Kia EV6 GT line all-wheel drive looks very competitive with the Tesla Model Y. But even a $5,000 markup, which is very common on an EV6, makes the Tesla look like a better idea. If there are 4 quantifiable qualities that you look for in a car, you just destroyed 2 of them by purchasing a car with a dealership markup. But quickly, let's look at some markups. Let's take that EV6 for example. Here's a Kia EV6 Wind trim level rear-wheel drive. MSRP $47,000. And here's the cheapest one I can find of that trim in my area, $53,845. That's $6,845 for a markup. And if you compare that trim with the Tesla Model Y, it's not looking good for the price. Here's a Mach-E, MSRP $47,535. Dealer price $52,535. Also very common on a Mach-E. Here's an ID4, new, first edition, not too far away, $45,425. Dealer price, $45,425. Now, can you believe that? Maybe. But if you're looking for an ID4, here's one right here with no markup, theoretically. And here's a Bolt. Yes, a new 2022 Chevy Bolt EUV Premium. MSRP, $41,000. Price, $41,000. But keep in mind, this Bolt has a bad battery because all of the Bolts were recalled. I can prove it. I even typed in the VIN number to make sure. The point here is markups are going to happen right now, but they also happen on gas cars. Ford Broncos are going for $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 over sticker. And even a Nissan Versa is rocking a $5,000 markup. But if you're willing to look, you can find one at MSRP. And that's when the tax credit looks extra advantageous. We talked markups, but at the end of the day, there are 4 quantifiable qualities of a car and dozens of subjective qualities. You do you, no judgment here. So let's talk about the tax credit. The tax credit is real. It does not apply to Tesla anymore, but it is real. And you can use the government website to check and see if the car you are wanting to purchase will qualify. The best thing to do here is consider it a bonus and not a guarantee because it is based on your federal withheld taxes for the year you purchased the vehicle. If you had less than $7,500 withheld from your paychecks from the federal government, you will get the total amount withheld from you and not the entire $7,500. For example, I made $74,000 last year. I had $6,862 withheld from the federal government out of my paycheck. I bought a new electric car. My federal tax credit is $6,862. That's how it works. You don't need to hire a certified public accountant to do your taxes in order to get the credit, but you will need to do some work on Google to make sure you fill out the right form. Any questions about the tax credit? Hit me up in the comments. For charging at home, most EVs, I can't say all because thanks Kia, most EVs come with a charger you can use use at home. You just plug it into a standard outlet and go about your day. However, if you have longer commutes on a daily basis, a level 1 or standard plug home charger may not be enough, and you may have to charge using some kind of what we call level 2 or higher voltage outlet to provide the electricity you need at home for your EV. Here's what I've got going on myself. All right, so there's our Tesla level 2, and it hangs out right there. I've got my little cable connector there, and there's the connector. And that's for the Model 3, which is my wife's work car, and she uses that one for work. This is my Model Y. It has a level 1 charger, and it's just plugged into the wall there. And the Model Y can also reach the level 2, just like so. If I grab level 2, and even with the Model 3 in the garage, I just stretch out the cable here. This is our level 2. Walk over to the Model Y and plug it in. I've got level 2 going in there. It's important to get the setup you require for your needs because this is your gas station. You're now charging at home. And in the event you don't charge at home, that is also a very serious consideration when getting an EV. Once you're set up at home, now you have to deal with charging on trips because that will be the only time that you're going to charge outside of your house unless you have a charger at work. EV route planning is here. In fact, Apple CarPlay can help you with your electric vehicle travel route. This isn't available on Android yet, but it's certainly coming. Link in the description. So you can't set that up on Apple CarPlay? No problem. Or maybe this is a spontaneous trip, at which point you'll need to find the best place to charge. Is that always a DC fast charger? Absolutely not. In fact, let me introduce you to PlugShare. What is PlugShare? Well, it's an app that helps you find destination chargers. In other words, a charger at the place you're going that can help you grab some miles before you leave. Do this now. Download the PlugShare app, zoom in on the map to where you live, and look around and see what chargers are available. PlugShare kind of means what it says. It is a user-generated database that helps everyone with an EV find a place to charge. You can use filters, you can check in, you can make a profile, and you can review the charger you went to. But before you travel in an EV at all, make sure you have PlugShare. Another good one to get is ChargePoint. What is ChargePoint? It is a company that provides chargers. They're in a lot of places, and they require you to download their app in order to purchase electricity from them. Not all of them, but mostly. You can also use filters to find the right charger for you. Now, if you drive a Tesla, you probably should check out a betterrouteplanner.com. This is a way to find out where you're going to have to charge on the way to where you're going. This is a paid subscription site in the event that you want all of the tools available to you, but you can use it for free. And these 3 resources are the best in the US, but there are literally dozens of others. And in order to use many of them, you will have to download their app and possibly load money onto that app that you don't intend to spend all of. For example, I've had ChargePoint for over 2 years and my first $20 has still not been spent. But don't overthink it. Plan your trip. Get the apps you need and deal with them as you need to. The most important consideration when charging on trips is recognizing your own skill level. If you have never taken your EV on the trip you're about to take, you should approach it that way. Have a plan. Know where you're going to charge, or at least know where the chargers are. Plan to stay over 15%. As your skill level increases, you can amend this, but as a general rule, especially in the beginning, plan to fail. If the charger you're going to doesn't work or is blocked or in use, know that you can keep moving to the next one. And if you overplan, skip the ones you don't need. Don't arrive without power, simple as that. Unless you have some guarantee, like your destination is your relative's house and you can charge overnight, charge before you arrive at your destination if you can, because a cold battery is a slow battery. You can always ask Tesla, navigate to the nearest supercharger by pressing on the right-hand button on your steering wheel, and that's it. With a Tesla, 90% of the time, that's going to do it. And that's charging. If you have a question about road trips and how to charge, let me know in the comments. One question I had when I first got my Tesla was, can I charge at Electrify America and EVgo? The answer is yes, but you'll need one of these. Can a Tesla charge at a Chatamo? Yes, but you'll need one of these. Now, range. This is everything for so many people. First, I want to help you overcome your fear. I made a whole video on the fear that people have of electric vehicles, and you can watch it down in the description. But let's be fair about range. The Toyota RAV4 was the best-selling SUV in America in 2021. It gets 29 combined miles per gallon. It has a 14.5 gallon fuel tank. My math says that's 420 miles of range, brand new. The average car is about 11 years old. The best-selling SUV in 2011 was a Ford Escape. It gets 22 miles per gallon combined when it was brand new and has a 17.5 gallon fuel tank. That tells me 385 miles. Now, this is a quote, "As cars age, fuel economy declines. No matter how well you take care of your vehicle, its engine efficiency and power are never as good as when you drive it off the lot," end quote. So there's a pretty good chance you're rocking about 350 miles of range or less in your gas vehicle when it's completely full. But how much is in your car right now? Do you know? Not 100%. In fact, it could be 20%. It could be 5%. And you're going to be late for work because you don't have enough gas to get there. How much range is in your EV right now? Well, for me, it's parked in my garage, so 80%. How about tomorrow? 80%. How much on Saturday morning when you have 200 miles to drive and you didn't know about it until right now and you need to be there right away? 80%. This is easy to explain, but it is extremely difficult to comprehend the sheer profoundness of advantages this has. One example, you no longer need to give your child, whether that means a 16 or 29-year-old, cash to buy gas with. Let's take 5 seconds. Let that breathe and think on that. Could the cash have been used for drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, vaping, other adolescent debauchery? Yes, but now there's one less excuse and one more place you know it didn't go. Let's cover this right now and get it out of the way also. Before you take any advice from anyone, fact. This meme is disinformation. Opinion. This man is sexually frustrated. Fact. This took less than 30 seconds to find, and I wasn't looking for it. Let's move on. So if an EV gets 310 miles of range, and you've always got 80% of that, on average, it will be more convenient than the current gas car you drive, and you'll never have to pull into a station full of distraction and convenience-priced items if you don't want to. Now let's talk warranty. We're back to fear once again. The warranty on an EV with any brand is going to vary. Just know this, your battery will probably have a very long warranty. Here are some examples. 8 years, 120,000 miles for your Tesla Model Y and Model 3. That ID4 with no markup, 8 years, 100,000 miles. Chevy Bolt, the new batteries they install will have an 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty. 10 years, 100,000 on that Kia EV6. A Nissan Leaf, 8 years, 100,000 miles, and a Ford Mach-E, 8 years, 100,000 miles. If you have a question about the warranty, let me know down below. That's a long time for a warranty, and there's no parts on a gas car that are going to have that. Insurance is simple. Comprehensive or full coverage is the same on an electric car as it is on a gas car. It means your car is covered, all of the parts. If you hit a rock and your battery is damaged, your insurance will pay to replace the battery because it is covered, because it is one of the parts. And no, your insurance will not be more for an electric car than it is for a gas car, unless you want it to be. Geico wanted to charge $1,500 a month for my Tesla Model Y, but Progressive charged the same amount for my Tesla Model Y when it was new as Geico did for my 2019 Honda Civic when it was new. You may need to shop around, but you will be able to find a comparable rate to a gas car with a similar price tag from at least one provider you have access to. In short, if you have a problem with your car because of an accident, it will be covered under insurance no matter what part it is. This includes the battery. If you decide to drop full coverage to your car, you will be responsible for repairing damages to your car that are your fault, exactly like if you owned a gas car. If you have a question about insurance, let me know in the comments. And that brings us to maintenance. Here's your first 10 years maintenance on an electric vehicle. Cabin air filters, brake pads, tires. EVs are heavier, so expect 80% of the range from your tires that you would normally get in your area. Suspension, if needed. Washer fluid, wiper blades, brake fluid, and tire rotations if applicable. Not all EVs have the same size tires on the front and rear. And that's it. In order to understand the difference in maintenance, we need to talk about the maintenance on a gas car, as much as I don't want to. But here's the maintenance items you won't have during the first 10 years because you switched to an EV. You will have these on a gas car. Coolant. This is a 10-year maintenance item, but may not be necessary. And then a laundry list of additional maintenance. No longer required. Oil changes, oil filter, engine air filter, serpentine belt, timing chain, exhaust system, engine parts, that's plugs, wires, connectors, couplers, etc. Transmission fluid, transmission, fuel pump, fuel tank. And then there's the dreaded check engine light, which everyone dreads on their gas car. Most of that has to do with sensors. The following sensors could trigger a check engine light, and you will no longer have these. crankshaft position sensor, camshaft position sensor, throttle position sensor, mass airflow sensor, vane airflow sensor, manifold absolute pressure sensor, oil pressure sensor, fuel pressure sensor, intake air temperature sensor, fuel temperature sensor, oxygen sensor, exhaust gas temperature sensor, nitrogen oxide sensor, NOx sensor, and I've probably left some out. Any of these could go bad for thousands of reasons at any time, causing your check engine light to come on and leaving the fate of your car to whomever you entrust it, either to fix it or make it go away a little bit so you can pay them to fix it again soon. Here are other items that you'll have to deal with maintenance on in an EV. The battery pack. These are a minimum of 8 to 10 years. How do I know that? No car company would be able to profit from them if they needed to be replaced during the warranty period. And for an 8 to 10 year battery, think 16-year-old that only uses DC fast charging. Will your battery last longer? Probably. It's just a battery, and it's cooled by computers that keep it at the right temperature. Your phone doesn't have that, but it does have similar battery chemistry. And finally, gas savings. Mon Power charges 10 cents per kilowatt hour. This is my actual electric bill. A Tesla Model Y has 75 kilowatt hours inside of it. They take me about 300 miles. So if I went all of those 300 miles, then it would cost me this much money to recharge it here at home. If I did the exact same thing on gas and I got 25 miles per gallon, let's say, then this is the cost at our current rate. And that is everything you need to know before you buy an EV. Did I miss something? Please let me know in the comments. If this video helped you, please consider subscribing to the channel. I focus on EVs and my experience as a Tesla Model Y and Tesla Model 3 owner. Otherwise, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you on the next video.
Hey, smash the like button.
Thank you.